Top 10 most complimented unisex fragrances in my collection. I have here one honorable mention before starting the main list. Red Tobacco from House of Montserrat. Definitely one of my most complimented unisex fragrances. But why it is honorable mention? Because it is extremely daring and not for everyone. Let's see the main list. Let's start by Chocolate Greedy at number 10 from House of Montal. It is a vanilla based fragrance. Vanilla is much more prominent compared to that cacao or chocolate note and smells powdery, and also we have some sort of extremely cozy orange zest jammy vibe at the background of the fragrance. If you are into edible and gourmand fragrances, I believe this one is a must have for you, but also I want you to know that it is extremely realistic edible type of fragrance. You're gonna smell like steaming cake, let's say, with this one. Last 8-10 hours plus in terms of longevity. It is a lasting fragrance, but projection and sillage is not that great here. It is like 2 hours, soft and close to the skin. Number 9 is Sailing Day by Maison Margiela, one of the most unique aquatic fragrances in my collection. Smells oceanic and floral. Rose is here a prominent note, but not like jammy and wintry smelling type of rose. It is very silky and springy, smooth type of rose plus ocean. It is absolutely one of my most favorite aquatic fragrances. You can see how much I have worn. It is very smooth, very polite and outstanding. I like that silky stance of this fragrance. Lasts on me 10 hours plus in terms of longevity, and projection and sillage is very soft and cloudy. For first 2 hours, gets solid compliments. Number 8 is Melody of the Sun by Montserrat, one of the most wearable and safe Montserrat fragrances. I have to say it is a musky and citrusy fragrance. From the very first minute, you're gonna get a ton of musk and citruses, and at the dry down gets woodier, but soft woody like vetiver. If you like soft, woody, citrusy, and very little floral fragrances, let's say like Hermes H24 or Hermes fragrances, this one is definitely a must try for you, as it is better in terms of performance. I can get solid 8-10 hours plus longevity, but projection and sillage is very soft, very inoffensive and smooth. I have to say it is a cloudy fragrance and has a crazy sillage, leaves a long scent trail behind. Number 7, again by Montserrat, Oud Vanille, one of the sexiest vanilla based fragrances out there. Leans a little bit more masculine, like 60-70%, as it is smoky and dark because of oud, but also we have here a ton of vanilla that pushes fragrance back to that feminine side, I have to say. In the brief, it is a dark, smoky and roasted type of fragrance, but for example, not like Red Tobacco that much smoky. Smokiness is here toned down and well balanced, and vanilla is also here roasted. You can feel that burnt feel of the vanilla, and oud is little medicinal, I can say, only at the first 20 minutes. After that is very smooth and inoffensive, I have to say. Lasts on me 10-12 hours plus, and projection and sillage is like soft and average for first 2-3 hours. Number 6, Arabian Tonka by Montal. It is a very loud, on a steroid, screaming and pungent type of floral, very little fruity and sweet candy flossy type of fragrance. If you haven't smelled Baccarat Rouge, you're gonna get that, let's say, candy flossy feel of Baccarat Rouge at the base of the fragrance, plus ton of floral notes. Florals are as prominent as that candy flossy vibe. It is about rose and jasmine, but jasmine is not as prominent as rose. Rose is also here jammy and extremely sweet. Lasts on me like 12-14 hours plus in terms of longevity. I can say it lasts forever. And projection and sillage is extremely loud for 3-4 hours. Maybe 2 sprays is more than enough by this one. As usual, we are going fast. Now we are at top 5 by Colognes Angel Share. It is a very luxury, extremely dressed up and expensive smelling fragrance. It is not type of fragrance, okay, that I'm gonna pick something from supermarket for today's lunch. It is not type of that fragrance. I'm going out and I am extremely dressed up tonight. It is one of those fragrances, let's say. About scent profile, it is like sweet, fruity, but dry type of fruitiness going on here. Fragrance is sweet, crystallized, sugary like, and very little boozy at the beginning, but gets boozier at the dry down. At the opening is like whiffs of booziness, and I can get very little like drops of smokiness at the background of the fragrance. I can get like 6-7 hours plus longevity, let's say good 6 hours, with first hour and a half average projection and sillage. Again by Maison Margiela, under the lemon trees at number 4. It is a leafy, citrusy and very little woody fragrance, and definitely musky. It is close to Melody of the Sun, reminds me of that fragrance immediately, but compared to the Melody of the Sun by Montserrat, which I mentioned it is a bit more leafy, has added green notes to it, I can also enjoy this fragrance better and somehow gets better compliments for me. It's like stronger compared to that fragrance and has a better projection, sillage, and longevity is somehow more solid compared to the Melody of the Sun. Lasts on me like 10 to hours plus, let's say good 10 hours, and projection and sillage is above average for first 2-3 hours, and I can say sillage of this fragrance is even way bigger compared to the projection. Leaves a very long and loud scent trail behind. Let's continue by Tom Ford at number 3, Bitter Peach. I have to mention it at the first. It is a very complimenting fragrance, but only from ladies. I don't remember even one compliment with this one from men, which is okay for me. I have no problem with that. It is a creamy fragrance with prominent vanilla and peach, and it is slightly also powdery at the background of the fragrance. As I mentioned in several videos, it is like peach and vanilla flavored ice cream. It is edible. I believe it is one of those underrated Tom Ford fragrances. Lasts on me like 7-8 hours plus. In terms of longevity, it is above average but not strong or beast mode type of fragrance. It is fair enough, and projection and sillage is average for first hour and a half. Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian at number 2, one of the sexy compliment monster fragrances and somehow underrated, I have to say, to this one. It is like powdery and dusty between those notes. It is not like 100% dusty or powdery. I like that dusty feel of the fragrance. It is very smooth, which I believe comes from amber. Fragrance has some sort of milky vibe to it, and vanilla is also as prominent as amber. Smells highly dressed up and luxury. If I have to compare it with some fragrances, I can say as luxury, as dressed up as Angel's Share, only in terms of that luxury feel, not scent profile. Lasts on me 10 to 12 hours plus. Projection is average to good for first 2-3 hours. Sillage is way above average. At number 1, I have a little problem here. I have 2 fragrances left. I think by mistake I picked 11 fragrances and I said 10. So I want to pick this one again as number 2. Let's say second number 2, as the other one is more complimented. So Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. It is not ordinary type of fragrance, as we have not here top notes, mid notes. It is all about base notes. Smells like just a soft woody fragrance. It is not loud, it is not lasting. I can say after 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I cannot smell it even. But for whatever reason, gets crazy compliments, even 5-6 hours, 8 hours after applying. At number 1, my most complimented unisex fragrance in the entire collection is none other than Silver Mountain Water from House of Creed. Such a good memories with this one. Stands out, has a very unique scent profile. I have like hundreds of the bottles, but smells nothing like other fragrances to my nose, except those colognes, let's say. So it is a very musky, a bit blackcurranty type of fragrance with touch of citruses and leafy green notes at the background. It is not like citrusy sour type of fragrance. Smells very unique, very well blended and high quality. Yeah, it is House of Creed. Lasts on me like 6 hours plus in terms of longevity. I can get for sure better performance out of the colognes. And projection and sillage is, let's say, like average projection for first hour, 2 hours maximum, and above average sillage. This one also has a crazy sillage. Take care, guys.